I'm in front of Union Castle House, a beautiful early Victorian building which was the Customs House of Southampton, and then by 1900s the headquarters of the Union Castle Line, a company that specialised in trips to South Africa and to the port of Cape Town, and a major point of departure for migrants, both British migrants but also those from across Europe who want to make a better life in the new world. So every Thursday at 4 o'clock a Union Castle Line ship would leave for a 2-week journey going along the coast of Africa and arriving in the port of Cape Town with the amazing backdrop of Table Mountain and a new exciting life ahead of them. So this is what was the headquarters of Union Castle. We've got all of the ships which were part of the line listed, and for a good 60-70 years passengers to Cape Town, this would have been the point where they picked up their tickets. The Jews of Eastern Europe were being persecuted, suffering from immense poverty, and they're looking for new opportunities. What's unusual about the Jews that went to South Africa is it was very much a sort of family and chain migration. So many Jews from Lithuania, so-called Litvak Jews, have those connections still today, and there is a connection to this building which they would have picked up their tickets and travelled to this remarkable place to make a new life. Your family were amongst the tens of thousands that went from Lithuania across to South Africa. So what sort of occupations, whereabouts did they go in South Africa?
I think the reason they chose it was because they'd heard about the diamond mining in Kimberley. And what happened is when they left Lithuania, the children went out in pairs, 2 to America, 2 to England, 2 to South Africa. And that's where my branch of the family comes from.
So with any migration, most people stay behind, but it's those that have got a sort of sense of wonder, of desire to see what's around the corner that move. So does that reflect in your family?
Totally, because the rest of my family really have been quite static in that there's a very large South African branch who have remained there, whereas my parents, without knowing each other in South Africa, meeting on the kibbutz, both had this desire for excitement, for travel and for adventure. They then left Israel and lived in Greece, in South Africa, and ended up in North London.
Before 1914, Union Castle and this building was at the heart of movements, global movements of peoples, people going from oppression and poverty to a new world, which they hope to make their opportunities. From the period from the 1940s, its trade is much more tourists, and what is remarkable in some ways is how it adjusts to an apartheid world. If you look at the posters, this is a place to visit. There's no hint of any difficulty, but how does apartheid relate to your family's story and how they coped with living in apartheid South Africa?
I would say that the apartheid system was at the heart of why my father and mother wanted to leave South Africa. Some members of the family felt quite comfortable there and felt that it was better to stay in a place and fight it from within. But my father in Cape Town and my mother in Oudtshoorn both grew up feeling extremely uncomfortable about it and left at the first opportunity.
And I think we see, on one level, Southampton being part of that apartheid system in a sense by making it normalising it. But on another level, I remember going around a sort of township tour post-apartheid with a young-ish activist who was showing us around his township, saying that to him, because he realised that quite a few were academics from Southampton, that to him, Southampton was freedom. These were letters, this was the postal service, came through Union Castle, through Southampton, and to him it was a glimpse of a free world to come.
Exactly.
Behind me is a ladies' hairdresser's. But 120 years ago, this was the remarkably named African Kosher Commercial Hotel owned by Mr. Marks. This seems rather a niche sort of hotel, but it is 50 feet away from the Union Castle headquarters. And this would have been catering for East European Jews, Orthodox Jews requiring their own dietary requirements, and they would have stayed in the hotel waiting the boat that would leave Southampton on a Thursday afternoon. So a business that supplied a very, very precise audience, but a very successful one as well.